Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I'm Manny Carl, and welcome to a Let's Talk on the Division PTS edition. I'm going to go ahead, and we just got a huge patch notes drop from Massive, and I kind of want to go over this just to give you an update as to what's going on in the PTS zone. And the first thing right at the top of the notes, and I must object to this and tell you that all of you people on Twitter that are telling me that the loot's going to stay the same and that I'm wrong about the ammo capacity, well, these patch notes are not final. It says it up at the very top. These patch notes are not final and will be updated with PTS modifications. There's nothing in the game right now that's final. Don't kid yourself. There is nothing in the game that's final. They will change it based on how they see you playing, how they see, what your feedback is, and all of that stuff. So basically, the first set is the world tiers. Everybody knows what those are. 1, 2, 3, and 4 corresponds to 163, 182, 204, and 229 gear score respectively, and active difficulty. The activity difficulty in the same world tier, normal, hard, and challenging, will provide more rewards, and heroic difficulty is no longer available in the game activity. We already knew all this stuff. It's great because it's building a consistent base for everybody else. So let's move on. UI updates and improvements. They added player reporting for the PC users. They added mark as junk option when equipping mods. Players can now mark weapons and gear items as favorite, which locks them to your inventory. This is huge. Also, one thing that's not in the patch notes that I wanted to let you guys know, when you go rogue in the dark zone, it now tells you how much the bounty is over their head. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. It's right here. Maybe you'll hear it on somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. They added a buyback option. There's a quick navigation to vendors and stuff. Weapon skins no longer take up inventory space, and it's one inventory. All you need to do is buy one weapon skin and you can equip it on all your guns. Equipped items are now always displayed in the top of the inventory list. Recalibrated items now have an icon displayed to let you know they're recalibrated. Crafting materials can now be converted in bulk at the crafting station, so if you have 500 blues, you can convert them all at the same time. Players can now deconstruct items from the stash. This is awesome. Okay, this is great because this is something that people in Destiny right now are asking for. It is a huge ask, and Massive is doing it. So you can now deconstruct items in your stash and get rid of it. Get rid of all the stuff that you don't want. Players now have the option to find a better server if they're currently on one. So if you have a bunch of rogues, go ahead and you can move to another one. That's a huge option as well. Players now no longer have the ability to open their inventory while they're under a status effect, which is kind of weird. I have no idea why that is. The time to kill for NPCs has been lowered. Many improvements to the enemy AI. Player ammo capacity has been doubled after level 30. This is so they don't call this out as a change or anything like that. They call it out, but it's very possible they're going to tweak it. Ammo capacity, mark my words, will not stay the same as it was in 1.3. They're going to increase it. That's just the way it is. The time to kill will decrease, but see, a lot of people have been tweeting me on Twitter. I read all your tweets. Believe me, I read all your tweets. They lowered the time to kill, but that's why they lowered the weapon damage. They lowered the weapon damage. They lowered all the stuff that goes along with it. So there's a lot of things that they did to tweak it and balance it. So increasing your ammo isn't going to be a huge factor. So just remember that's not a huge factor. When matchmaking, the game will now attempt to refill empty slots in the group. When privacy allows it, that's also huge. Incendiary and explosive rounds will no longer apply status effect like staggering on fire, which sucks. Accuracy will now be lowered for a short duration after performing a combat roll, which is awesome. I think they need to really add like a combat roll timer, so every time you do a combat roll, it cools down. That way you don't have these guys who are just combat rolling everywhere. It needs to stop. The madness needs to stop. They added a delay between leaving a group and signing up for matchmaking. Weapon magazines are now refilled when restocking from an ammo crate. That's also great. The crafting material drops from the base of operation will now reward high-end quality after level 30. Remove scavenging from the game. Scavenging is removed. There's no more scavenging. New gear pieces can no longer roll scavenging. That's great. Awesome. They've removed it. No more scavenging. The map indicator for rogue players now increases in size the closer the player gets. This is how I originally thought it was, but it wasn't. And this is great because I think it's great. It lets you know how far away the rogue is versus being right next to you. So activity, loots, and reward changes. All NPCs will now have a chance of dropping high-end and gear set items. Tougher enemies, veterans, and elite have higher chances to drop. They remove gear set weighting from all activities except incursions. Any gear set can now drop from any activity. Weekly and daily assignment loot caches now drop items scaled with the player's current gear score. Added new blueprints for level 33 mods and gear score 229 high-end items. Now, they did not say they added gear sets, but 229 high-end items, yes, that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm super stoked about that. Like I said, go out and get your Division Tech now. Hurry up and get it before, because from what I heard is that there's only going to be Division Tech dropped in the little boxes around the area. Sorry, I'm still dealing with a little bit of a cold, so please mind my voice sometimes. It's a little nasally, I know, and it's a little hard to breathe at times, but yeah, so that's the huge thing that I want to tell you right now, is that you need to go out and get them, because they will no longer give you Division Tech from the loot caches. That's one of the things that we figured out from the PTS, is that they're not dropping stuff from the loot caches. That's gone. And so the only place you're going to be able to get it is by farming those boxes once again in the DZ. I guarantee you that's on purpose, that is meaningful, and that will be there in 1.4. Now they added field proficiency. Players can now gain experience past level 30 and earn loot caches. They updated, and this is probably why, that's probably why they did it right there, is that they added the player caches, the loot caches for the players after level 30, and they don't want to keep giving you Division Tech over and over again. They updated the vendor stock. Item quality will adapt better to player level during the 1 to 30 progression. Vendors now sell item gear score 163 to 229 as soon as the player reaches level 30. They added more high-end items for sale and all currencies, added gear set items to Phoenix credits and Dark Zone vendors. Phoenix credit vendor now sells one random slot of each gear set. Dark Zone vendor sells one random gear set for each slot. Roamer NPCs are back, and that is awesome, because I've heard, and I haven't seen him yet because I haven't gone out and looked for him, but Bullet King is back. He's back. I don't know if they took down the little memorial for him, but he is back. Batman. Yeah, he's back. There's going to be a lot more activities, so search and destroy. I'm going to skip over the main mission because I really don't care about that. I thought that was great, and it worked out really well. But there's going to be a lot of like normal mode, hard mode, challenging mode, like in different tiers and stuff. Like from normal mode, you'll get superior high-end and one superior reward. From the hard mode, you'll get one high-end from the boss drop and one high-end as a reward. Challenge mode, you'll get one high-end, one gear set, and one high-end mod from the boss drop, and 2 high-end or gear set from the reward, and 30 Phoenix credits. No idea what the Phoenix credits will be used for except for vendors. Search and destroy, there's a whole lot of stuff. I encourage you to go read it. I'm not going to go through and read all the stuff that you're going to get, but let me tell you, they did say that they're not going to be giving out Lone Star very much anymore. So that is also great. You'll still have a chance to get it, but they're not going to. And from what I heard, Lone Star hasn't changed at all. So that's always good. Now, players can gain underground experience past level 40 and earn more underground caches. So that's great, because right now you can only get experience up until level 40, and there you go. That was it. It's fine. I would like them to increase the actual player level, not just underground, going up to level 40. But so now directives can now reward Phoenix credits and no longer items. That's always a huge thing. And you'll also get, from challenging mode, from the boss drop, you'll get 2 high-end or gear set, 1 gear set item, and a chance for a high-end mod. I have a feeling the high-end mods are going to be pretty important, so mark my words, you're going to need all of those Division Tech to get there. Now, incursions, there's going to be a lot more stuff, like Falcon's Lost will only drop gloves and mask, Clear Sky will only drop body armor and holster, and Dragon's Nest will only drop backpack and knee pads of all types. So go ahead and get those. And they updated the rewards for boss drops and supply drum drops in the Dark Zone. Boss drops now give you a high-end or gear set, 1 gear set, and a chance for a high-end mod, and supply drops will give you 1 high-end or gear set, 1 gear set, 1 high-end mod, and 15 Phoenix credits. So go out there and get those. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. We're getting to the 10-minute mark, and I just want to go ahead and keep this under a certain amount of time. There's a lot more stuff. Gear skill, we're going to go over this tomorrow. We'll go over gear stats, we'll go over skills, and we'll go over, we'll probably go over skills, and then we'll go over weapons tomorrow, and gear sets as well. That should be good. We should be doing that quite frequently, so we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to get out of here. That's been my time time. Thank you so much for watching this. If you like this and found this informative, I know some people do because this is patch notes and some people don't like reading through the whole thing. They'd rather me just tell them exactly what it is and let you figure it out for yourself, because as I'm going through it, I'm noticing some things on the PTS that aren't in here. And so like they fixed a bug where the NPCs could shoot players through doors while they were being opened in the underground, and they fixed that. You're not going to notice that. And the bug where the intensity of the directive sickness would be decided on operation entry, allowing the gear set swap to reduce the effect. The intensity will now dramatically adapt to the current stamina of the player. So there you go. You're not going to get that from just playing the game. So there you go. That's been my time. I've been Monty Carl, and we'll see you again next time on a Division Let's Talk. Agent out.